Greetings and welcome to the Saroth Image Experiment. I was going to do a live stream last night. Too tired after work. I've been working again today and I am tired, and I've also been drinking wine, but I just felt the need to communicate. To be honest, I'm feeling a little bit melancholy, hence the title, something to do with Saroth's melancholy. Could be the time of year, the leaves are falling, everything's kind of wet and cold. Fireworks have been busting off all night because it's the 5th of November here in Britain. Scotland, but Britain, unfortunately. So I have just discovered how to use a capo. A capo is like a thing that you fix onto your guitar and you can play stuff on it. It's very good. So if you'll indulge me for a second, I might get on to talking about magic or something. I might not, to be honest. I'm in a weird mood. I had a very hard day at work today, very confusing. And I've still got tomorrow to go, and then Monday, and then I get a day off on Tuesday. So me and my friend Jim, you know the DMT thing, I've been doing it wrong. I was like putting it on top of the pipe, like this tiny little grotty crack pipe that I used to have, and I put the Spontex and I just wellied some DMT on top of that. And I'd read Dr. Andrew Gallamore's alien information theory, which someone I noticed had put, like, in a Facebook thing, somebody had put, what kind of non-esoteric books would you put as the, top magic adjacent books, and someone put alien information theory. So I went into Jim and he was like, Steve, you're not supposed to fucking put it on the top, you're supposed to put it in like a glass pipe, like a freebase pipe, and you put in the DMT and you heat the bowl. You don't burn it on top like crack. So that's a lesson for me. So we're going to be doing another session on Monday night. Very interesting DMT. Magic for me is all about the psychedelics. Okay, that might be a good place to. No, in fact, I will continue. So difficult the change from the E minor to the A. I just can't do it. Play an A fine, although that doesn't sound too. talk about Liber, Null and Psychonaut? I'm not really in the mood. Like I say, I'm melancholy. I'm very melancholy. Okay, I will. I've done some notes. So I think we left off at. I'm not sure where we left off. Let's start. We definitely did the mirror staring. I definitely gave a shout out to my upcoming guest, Dave Lee, on the 25th of November, David W. Haar, 11th of November, the Temple of Babylon Coronzon. You've got a few little snippets from there. That'll be coming up soon. That'll be the show to end all shows. And I did remember to mention Classic Angels and Magic, Maggie's channel. I hope you subscribed. It doesn't take nothing to just press a subscribe button, you know. So to begin to the idea of inhibitory and excitatory gnosis. So on one hand you're trying to quiet your mind, and on the other you're trying to excite your mind into a high state of like a kind of Dionysian frenzy, I suppose. Hold on, what's going on my phone? Let me see. I'll actually tune into my own broadcast so I can see if anybody is talking to me on live chat. Talk to me on live chat, people. Who are you? What are you doing here? So yeah, my favourite form of gnosis definitely is, I've got a very unquiet mind. I'm not a great one for balance. I think to create, we need to create imbalance, basically. I've said many times before, balance is stasis and nothing happens. So you need to create friction in your own life to generate possibilities. And that's something that Liber, Null and Psychonaut is very keen on. In fact, it says at one point, let me see. See, I'm not as organised tonight. Yes. So he's talking about invocation here. And Kia, I think, is a term borrowed from Austin Osman Spare, which means your soul or your, whatever, soul, basically. Kia cannot be invoked as it's non-dual. So it has no opposite, so it has no identity or identifying features, so it's just like the Tao or whatever. Metamorphosis is pursued by becoming that which one is not, transcending both in mutual annihilation. And that reminds me of Crowley's idea of the abyss. Peter J. Carrol, whether he admits it or not, is very influenced by Crowley's methods. Invocation adds to the mage, so you're invoking qualities that you think you lack. If you're a bit weak in like work meetings or something terribly mundane like that, then you would invoke maybe Mars, who's like a war god, or Jupiter. Figure it out yourselves, guys. So he does do, Peter J. Carroll does quite a good description of a modern invocation of Mars, which would be to be in a red room. All the Kabbalistic correspondences to Mars. You dress in a kind of Nazi helmet with a bear skin on and shoot a gun into the air. All very impractical. I mean, who has a Nazi helmet and a gun? apart from Donald Trump. And yeah, so, and then for Saturn, you've got to think about the correspondences. So Saturn is all about death, decay, meditating on your own death. So he suggests like doing a fake burial of yourself. Incense is sort of musty. And you've really got to use your imagination with chaos magic. There are no definite rules. And then he goes on to liberation, which is what I am all about, baby. They say you want a revolution. Bloody awful. So liberation is behaviour that increases possibility for future action. This is very important. Please, whoever is in live chat, at least say hello so I know who you are. So, the thought came to my mind, I don't know who said this, I know Burroughs quoted it, all systems tend towards complexity. So it's really about evolution. The engine of evolution is our human consciousness and how we can transform it by being what we are not. So again, in a Crowleyan manner, do all things that are disgusting, or to break the programming. Again, this comes into the 8 circuit model of the human brain, where you've got imprint vulnerability at certain stages. Like when you're a baby, you go towards your mother's breast. Sexual imprinting is extremely important. That's what gives you your kinks for the rest of your life. You know why so many people have, well, I've read this, so many people have foot fetishes, because when they're crawling about, all they see is like adult feet, and they sexually imprint that. So, but what chaos magic suggests, and certainly what psychedelics suggest, is that you can reprogram faulty imprints, shall we say. So, look at like this is taking an extreme. This is taking an extreme example, but say a serial killer been beaten all that by all his life and everything, so they turn into the most twisted people of all time. But if you could maybe catch them in time and go back to their imprint vulnerability and reprogram it with magic and psychedelic drugs, simple. I've got someone in chat. Oh, Bobby Hale. Hail, Bobby. Bobby is such a good friend of mine. Yeah. And Temple Babylon Charon's are going to be on, believe it or not, Aeon Byte. Whether you like Aeon Byte or not, it's a big platform. And Bobby's earned it. So, liberation is behaviour that increases possibility for future action. Quote, the secret of freedom is not to be drawn into situations where one's number of alternatives becomes limited or even unitary. So you're looking for, you don't want to be fenced in. And that's, I did a hokey, corny moon reading today on Facebook. You know, it was one of those Facebook apps that you program in your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and I have to say it was very impressively accurate. My moon's in Sagittarius, and it's like, yeah, you're, but don't fence this boy in. And I think that's been a problem in my life with like jobs and partners and stuff, that as soon as I feel like I'm into some kind of routine or stable, I need to fuck everything up. It's an impulse, a self-destructive impulse, but in the end we're all gonna die, we're all gonna be annihilated. So I think we should get in as much practice as we can. Guitar. What are you saying, Bobby? Exactly. Babylon Charonzon equals liberation. Hey! Absolutely. Yeah, it is. That was kind of my idea, because at the bottom I had to clip it, but it was, yeah, it's like a broadcasting thing, Groucho. So you're absolutely right. So I've got my two TBC buddies, and I've got three people lurking. So come on, come out. So yeah, I was, there's a lot to be said for publicly doing stuff, because I was feeling really low before I came on, but just the fact that I can see myself on the screen, I'm kind of on television, and I've got people talking to me, cheers me right up. It does. So I'll continue with my notes, but they are somewhat scant. I'm actually doing a very interesting project for someone I met for the first time when we went to Stornoway. Her pen name is Tess something, but she's written a very enchanting story, almost a nursery. No, I don't mean a nursery. I mean it's an archetypal kind of story about a young misfit girl who meets an older kind of witchy woman. And so I'm going through and tidying it up, punctuation, sorting out all those comma splices. You know what I mean, like a sentence has got to have a subject, object. Don't put commas, just put like sentences. God damn it! But she's a brilliant writer, so I'm really looking forward to doing it, and she's also paying me. So if it, I do have an English degree, and I did pass all my grammar and all that stuff. So if anybody wants to send me manuscripts and pay me for, because I'll spot a mistake a mile off. So yeah, if you want to send me your manuscripts, pay me, I would say 20 quid an hour would be reasonable. And also, I know everybody's going through hard times. I'm going through exceptionally hard times because so many debts caught up with me at once. I ain't asking for money. Anyway, Peter J. Carrol says, the secret of freedom is not to be... Oh, I just said that. Yeah, so... And I've written, again, this fits the 8th Circuit model, where involuntary imprints are deliberately re-imprinted, which requires imprint vulnerability. So imprint vulnerability would be a state of no mind, a state of high psychedelic outedness, but you can achieve the same things through magic, ritual, chanting, all that kind of stuff. But honestly, psychedelics, I've quoted this many times, but Terence McKenna said, why sweep up in the ashram for 20 years when you can just smoke some DMT and get right to the point? Now these are interesting things that he puts before us here. Sacrilege, heresy, iconoclasm and biostheticism, and anathemism. Sacrilege is destroying the sacred. Glorious acts of disobedience or blasphemy. Temple Babylon, Choronzon have got that right down. Also another quote, put a brick through your TV, explore sexualities unusual to you. Now, I don't have a TV, I don't watch news, and it was one of the best magical acts I ever did, because you're processing this bullshit 24 hours a day, they're repeating news about things that are beyond our control. I'm not saying we shouldn't be politically active or that, but like for magical practice you really need to be kind of a hermit in a way, I think. Only speaking to initiates of your own order, really. Or, what's it called? Episcopalian kind of idea where we're all in it together. I mean, obviously there is dialogue between systems and traditions. That's getting bad. I think I'm possibly getting too drunk to play. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, I can't be bothered doing any more. Thank you for putting up with my bullshit. I will. So, no. I'm not finishing yet. Because there's quite an interesting bit that comes after the. So, where were we? Yes, sacrilege, heresy, iconoclasm, bioaestheticism, and anatheism. Anathema is what they're trying to say. So sacrilege is destroying the sacred. Glorious acts of disobedience are... Oh, yeah, I've done that. So then the chapter goes on to the Ogogyres, or the Holy Guardian Angel. Quote, most perfect vehicle of Kia on plane of duality. He seems to be very into this idea of we're trapped in duality, which we kind of are, but yeah. Now this is interesting. False identification leads to possession and obsession and madness. And it made me think of a Facebook post that I saw recently. Clifford Hartley Lowe was talking about, and I can't remember the person that brought it up, but they were like, most magicians in their careers will meet an entity who will say, hey, you're our prophet, and there's a mission for you. And I got that extremely early on, before, well, I was into magic, but it was during my heavy drug period, and I had an out-of-body experience, and I had have I told you about the first out-of-body experience I had? It was with my friend Jill, who is very dedicated to spirituality, but in a slightly more new agey way than me, I would say. But she gave me Reiki one day. I didn't even know what Reiki was, so I sat in the chair. I think I had like a blanket over my shoulders, and she wasn't even touching me. And all of a sudden, I just zoomed out of my body, and I could see, you know, that blue marble, like planet Earth, but it had more detail. It absolutely felt like I was looking down on the actual planet Earth from way up in space. And I got this voice saying, "We are the Pleiadians." You know, why Pleiadians? I don't know. "We are the Pleiadians. Look at the Earth. Look at the Earth." And there was, I have told this story before, but there was water. Like, it wasn't tears. I wasn't emotional. I was kind of just tranced out, to be honest. But there was tears running through me, and I was kind of jittering a little bit. So it was an ecological message from the Pleiadians saying that we had to look after planet Earth. But at the time, you know, I was fucked. So looking after the planet was kind of, I was like, I think you picked the wrong guy there. And that started a bit of an odyssey of spirit communication, you know, the Thosis thing. It started off with this, well, we were doing work from the Isis magic book by Isadora Forrest. So we're doing one of the best purification, consecration rituals I've found is in that book. So you get water in a container, and you also have incense, and it's like, what is it again? Hail unto thee who art... No, that's Liber. It basically says, establish yourselves within the censer. Forces of fire, breath of Isis, fire, all that kind of stuff. I can't remember. But anyway, it was good. And we got a lot out of it. This is a this is a dreadful YouTube presentation. So the Ogogides, or the HGA, is the most perfect vehicle of Kia on the plane of duality. And we all know false. Oh yeah, that's where I was going. So I think Crowley's possible downfall was that he believed in his own perhaps false oligarch. I don't know. So Peter J. Carrol calls it progressive metamorphosis. Each incarnation, this is a quote, a task each incarnation represents a task or a puzzle to be solved on the way to some greater form of completion. And I'm like, duality again? And he definitely uses chaos theory. I guess that's why it's called chaos magic. Because he says, move one grain of sand on a distant shore and the entire future history of the world will eventually be changed. I'm not sure about that. If I just kick a bit of sand as I'm walking along the beach, it doesn't make sense that the whole world is changed by that. I think you have to do stronger actions than that, sir. And then I throw in my all-time favourite quote for no apparent reason. Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the future. And that is Percy by Shelley, one of my favourite poets. And what that means is, or what I took it to mean is, poets have access to the, what Kabbalists would call Yetzirah. It's a world of forms, maybe like the world of Platonic solids. So poets and artists and, you know, scientists, all intellectual people that grasp, you know, grasp something and pull it down into material creation are pulling these things that are already created in Yetzirah. And I think artistic imaginations, you know, like look at H.P. Lovecraft, or I'm trying to think of someone that's had a similar effect. Stephen King, even. You know, fiction, poetry, art predicts what's going to happen, and you know, look at Cubism. Picasso invented it around about 1904, which is a significant number for some of us. And it seems like there is a vast conscious group. I do believe in the Jungian collective unconscious, but I think it's a bit more nuanced than that. And we are on an evolutionary journey. We haven't stopped evolving. Human beings are still semi-hairy apes, you know, with very little computational power. That's why I think AI is going to be very important, because it's happening. You know, it's gonna, if we don't cooperate with it, it's gonna take over the whole goddamn planet. So I think we just need to program AI to be nice, and it'll be lovely, and then we'll be able to travel through space and all that William Burroughs stuff. Right, that really is it, because it's been a stressful day, so I may make this private, because I don't think it's been one of my classic broadcasts. But thank you for attending. I love you all. Good night. Good night.